Microphone test. Testing 1, 2. Mic test 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right.
Good evening. If you can start finding your seats, we are going to kick off in just a minute. Thank you. Welcome, and live from Adventure Point, it's the 2021 Building Character Celebration. We are thrilled to have you join us virtually and in person as we honor our award recipients tonight. Though not all of us can be together in person with each other tonight, we encourage those joining us virtually to use the comment feature below to share your congratulatory message and participate in our virtual roll call. Before we get started, all Eagle Scouts watching, please comment below with your troop number, the city and state you're watching from, and the year you received your Eagle Scout Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our MCs for this evening, Mr. Armand Moyer and Miss Carolyn Mast. Take it away, Armand and Carolyn.
All right, hello everybody. Good evening and thank you for joining us today as we celebrate the Epitome of Leadership and Grand Achievement Awards for our 2020 Eagle Scout and Summit Award class. The 2020 year was anything but normal, and the journey that our award recipients went through for this achievement is truly miraculous. Tonight, we will be showing you a glimpse of how the Boy Scouts of America continues to prepare young people for ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes, instilling the values of the Scout Oath and law. In this current climate, qualities such as courtesy, kindness, being thrifty, brave, especially clean, and reverent are more important than ever, especially clean. Each Scout has taken an oath for the rest of their lives and will help others at all times. This is what the core of what we're celebrating means tonight.
As a part of this evening program, we will share the stories of successful leaders who have made a lasting impact on youth in our community. We will also celebrate the accomplishments and the journey of our 2020 Eagle Scouts and Summit Award recipients as we and they look forward to their futures and next chapters in their lives. As we begin the evening, please join me in reciting the oath, Scout Oath and Law on the screen. This is on the screen? Okay. Let's start with the Scout Oath. Can I have the Scout signs? So, a Scout, on my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2.
Remain standing. And will all audience members please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Have an invocation?
So, is Leslie performing the national anthem?
Are we doing the national anthem?
All right.
Before we eat dinner tonight, we want everyone who knows it to join us in the Philmont Grace. Please prepare yourself as is your customs. For food, for life, for raiment, for opportunity, for friendship and fellowship, we thank thee, O Lord. Amen.
So we just go down and eat and
Yep,
chill
one sec.
afterwards.
During dinner tonight, we will be sharing a slideshow of 2020 Eagle Scouts from Michigan Crossroads Council and their projects throughout southern and western Michigan. Our program will resume in approximately 20 minutes after dinner has been concluded.
Brad Zotko with Troop 342, LaGrave Christian Reformed Church. His project was a sensory room at Grand Rapids Christian Middle School. Most important thing gained from scouting? I would say that the most important thing that I've learned in scouting is how to competently lead. I also believe that scouting has made me a well-rounded person. Scouting pushed me outside of my boundaries and got me to try things I wouldn't have done on my own, such as sleeping on and under nothing but a tarp in sub-freezing temperatures.
Alex Korf, Troop 345 Forest Hills, Presbyterian Church. His project was outdoor garden at Comprenew. Highlights of my Eagle Scout project. I led the creation of an outdoor garden with 2 picnic tables for the employees and volunteers at Comprenew in Grand Rapids. I had 32 helpers, and the project took 236 hours.
Andrew Guerin, Troop 43 out of Beechwood Church. His project was Purple Martin Houses for Windmill Island. Highlights of his project was building Purple Martin houses for Windmill Island, and it took roughly 148 hours, though it is possible for it to be more. Windmill Island benefited, as well as downtown Holland, having gained a new tourist attraction.
Nate Jenny, Troop 228, Bostwick Lake, Congregational United Church of Christ. This project was team building games for elementary students at local elementary school. Favorite scouting adventure, spending nine nights backpacking on Isle Royal with my Philmont crew after our trek was canceled due to wildfires. We hiked over 70 miles, saw a handful of moose, one of which was a little too close for comfort, and a wolf paw print. It was awesome to spend the time with my friends.
Dimitri Me, Troop 43 out of Beechwood Church. Project, display shells for Community Action House. Best scouting adventure. I have done many fun and adventurous things in Scouts, but our annual skiing outing stands out from the rest. Our troop has a long tradition of going to Cabernet Ski Resort in February and skiing all weekend long. It is the most memorable adventure for me because it forced me to overcome my fear of skiing and learn to downhill ski. When this adventure was first discussed by our troop, it seemed way too scary, risky, and dangerous. I had to overcome my fear, and I finally gave it a shot. I loved it. Now, downhill skiing is second nature to me, and I enjoy it every winter. Scouts gave me the opportunity to grow and learn something new, and now I really enjoy it.
Bridget Kopenkoski, Troop 345 Forest Hills, Presbyterian Church. Project, cleaning and organizing headstones for local cemetery. Most important thing gained from scouting. I think the most important thing that I've learned from scouting is the knowledge that I can do whatever I put my mind to, so long as I have an end goal and make a plan to attain said goal. Scouting taught me this as I had my long-term goal of becoming an Eagle Scout and had many smaller goals as I had to set and work towards to help me reach my end goal.
Mason Schlafer out of Troop 1053, St. Gregory Episcopal Church. Project, built benches at the USS LST Veterans Museum. Most memorable scouting adventure. 300 scout executives from all across the country singing happy birthday to me in Orlando for the Trails End Conference in 2018 after I'd set the national record. It was #1 in the nation for the 2017 popcorn sale. What? Get it, Mason?
Luke Schuster, Troop 202 in Caledonia United Methodist Church. Project, benches for Veen Observatory. Most memorable scouting adventure. I will always remember traveling to the National Jamboree at the summit with my 2 older brothers. It was the most difficult and most exciting 12 days of my scouting career. The patch, trading, the long hikes to the cross event, all the different activities like rifle shooting and mountain biking, all things I will never forget.
Nathaniel Hopkins out of Troop 264 and Rockford Lions Club. Project, built free libraries at kind care, child care locations throughout Grand Rapids. Most important thing gained from scouting? The leadership skills gained from scouting has been the most important thing because it's helped in all aspects of my life, from academics, sports, and employment. I will be attending Mount St. Mary's University in the fall with both an academic and an athletic scholarship, which I am confident to say that my leadership abilities gained through scouting helped me to earn.
Caden Peterson McLean, Troop 228, Bostwick Lake Congregational Church. Project Raised Bed Gardens at Rockford Community Gardens. Highlights of my Eagle project. I rebuilt 10 raised garden beds at the Rockford Community Gardens. It benefited the community of Rockford residents who may not have a yard or area to have their own garden. Residents are able to rent the garden beds and plant vegetables and flowers. The wood surrounding the old beds was falling apart and they were overgrown with weeds. I led my scouts and volunteers to rebuild and clean up 6 large and 4 small beds. All of the materials were donated from local companies that were also sponsors of the community gardens.
James Jasper out of Troop 624, St. Joseph Catholic Church. Project Raised Bed Gardens at Rockford Community Gardens. Most memorable adventure? The most memorable adventure he had in scouting so far was our troop trip to West Virginia to go rock climbing and whitewater rafting. It's a trip we still talk about. We're planning on going again this summer.
Daniel Fry Jr., Troop 407, Centerville United Methodist Church. Project Gaga Ball Pit. Highlights of my Eagle project. I'm glad that so many students will be able to reap the benefits of playing Gaga. It's not just a fun game, but also allows children to develop strategic thinking skills, agility jumping, striking, dodging, hand-eye coordination, and learn the importance of game rules. Gaga keeps children active and teaches them skills that can translate to other sports.
Aaron West, Troop 169, Lions Club of Paw Paw. Project Community Outreach through Red Arrow Ministries. Highlight of my Eagle project, I collected donations of basic necessities for paroles being released from prison back into Van Buren County. These bags provided help for their first few days. They are commonly released at night and have nothing. There were 25 items in each bag. I received so many donations, I was able to provide an additional bag with shelf-stable food items.
James Melkowski, Troop 29, Project Birdhouses for Local Library. Highlights of my Eagle project. My local library were rebuilding at a new location and they wanted to have a purple martin birdhouse in the backyard. I reached out to them and they agreed to let me build it. I was able to get a few of my scoutmates to help me build and install it.
Tieran Mann, Troop 43, Beechwood Church. Project Birdhouses for Local Library. Most memorable scouting experience was going to Philmont Scout Ranch in the summer of 2017. There I bonded with my group and I was introduced to many activities. I also encountered many challenges, including hypothermia, which I overcame and strengthened me.
Isaiah Visker, Troop 37, Presbyterian Church. Project Beach Repair. Most important thing I gained from scouting. Have learned perseverance, patience, and the importance of hard work in my time as a scout.
Eric Norton, Troop 37, First Presbyterian Church. Project Prevention of Invasive Plants. Highlight of my Eagle project, I made boot brush stands to help slow the spread of invasive plant species in Rosie Mound Natural Area in Ottawa County.
Clyde Kelly, Troop 37, First Presbyterian Church. Project Duck Nesting Boxes. Most important lesson learned in scouting. Scouting gave me confidence, pride in my accomplishments, a sense of honor, and a longing to serve other people as best I can.
Stuart Tucker, Troop 290, St. Robert's Church. Project Gaga Ball Pit. Most important lesson learned in scouting? The most important things I have gained from scouting are the life skills and relationships I had made throughout the years.
Wyatt Cliff, Troop 282, North Kent Presbyterian Church. Project Energy Conservation. Highlights of my Eagle project. Working with 27 volunteers, we were able to find, identify, and replace existing lighting with more energy efficient bulbs and fixtures.
Nicholas Loney, Troop 161, Matawan Lions Club. Project Garden Renovation. Highlights of my Eagle project? It included moving the garden, renovating, refurbishing wooden structures, replanting shrubs and flowers, fixing solar lighting, and building and installing 2 benches.
Cameron Keene, Troop 91, Allegan United Methodist Church. Project supporting Lions Club Vision Projects. Favorite scouting memory, going to Camp Buffalo Bill in Wyoming.
Thomas Sypian, Troop 290, St. Roberts. Project Path and Garden Construction. Eagle Scout project highlights. My Eagle project was to build a concrete path with surrounding gardens, a flagpole, and crosses that connected a memorial garden with an existing patio in the courtyard.
Reagan Woods, Troop 164, Okemos Community Church. Project Youth Room Renovation. Most memorable scouting experience, having the opportunity to attend the World Scout Jamboree hosted at the summit and meeting fellow scouts from around the world.
Alex West, Troop 169, Lions Club of Pawpaw. Project Landscaping at Middle School. Most important lesson learned in scouting, I have earned 131 merit badges and have done some amazing things while earning them. My family has always said, you can't love it till you try it. And thanks to all of my merit badges, all 131 of them, I have tried things I never knew I would love.
Broderick Schroeder, Troop 294, First Presbyterian Church. Project Installation of Mileage Markers. Most important lesson learned in scouting. A sense of pride and accomplishment in being able to work through the requirements for Boy Scouts and achieving the Eagle Scout rank. I set a goal to get my Eagle Scout rank by the time I turned 15, and I was able to do this.
Joseph Kukleski, Troop 283, Assumption of the Blessed Virgin Mary Catholic Church. Project, constructed outdoor classroom space. Most important lesson learned in scouting. The most important thing I learned from scouting was how to be an effective leader. I was senior patrol leader in my troop for 6 months. I gained valuable experience in planning and conducting effective gatherings. I also directed my Eagle project, which forced me to come up with solutions to unforeseeable problems.
Harrison Tucker, Troop 90, St. Roberts. Project Hammocking Area Along Prayer Path. Most important lesson learned in scouting. I think the most important thing I learned in scouting is how to lead people and how to complete a project of that magnitude.
Hunter Reed, Troop 264, Rockford Lions Club. Project, Changing Station at Merrill Mountain Biking Trail. Most important lesson learned in scouting, being confidently able to talk for myself when I need to.
Benjamin Bridge, Troop 271, Mayflower Congregational Church. Project, built outdoor stations of the cross. Most important lesson learned in scouting. Scouts taught me to fearlessly explore my curiosities and encouraged me to pursue my deep desire for adventure. It also taught me to be a servant leader, a skill that I will use for the rest of my life, all along my scouting journey.
Blake Hazega, Troop 342, LaGrave Avenue Christian Reformed Church. Project, Flag Retirement Pit. Highlights of my Eagle project, constructing a flag retirement pit for the city of Walker to ensure that flags, when worn, are able to be respectfully retired.
Jackson Smith, Troop 228, Bostwick Lake Congregational Church. Project, playset for 3 to 11-year-old youth housing. Highlights of my Eagle project. My Eagle Scout project benefited the nonprofit organization called 3 through 11 Youth Housing. This organization houses single mothers with kids downtown Grand Rapids. I built a playset for the children in between all of the properties. It took 14 hours on site.
Spencer Morgan, Troop 271, Mayflower Congregational Church. Project, outdoor toy boxes. Important lesson learned in scouting, The most valuable thing learned from scouting is realizing to be a good leader, you need to have good character and values.
Justin Snyder, Troop 374, Sportsman's Club of Battle Creek. Project School Supply Drive for Bogota, Colombia. Scouting memory highlight. The most important moment was going to NYLT. I was very nervous about the whole experience, but I made lots of memories and learned many leadership skills.
TJ Malema, Troop 264, Rockford Lions Club. Project Changing Station at Merrill Mountain Biking Trail. Best scouting memory? Sailing as part of the Sea Base High Adventure program.
Do something funny.
Folks, as you're finishing your meal, go ahead and pack the trash up in those boxes and leave them on your tables. We will collect those when the ceremony is done. Our staff will take care of those, so thank you.
All right, hold on. Excuse me, can I have everybody's attention? All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm sure everybody had a great lunch. This is some really good food. Compliments to our caterers over there who were generous enough to provide for us. Yeah, give them a hand. All right, shifting back to the program. This year's Eagle Scout and Summit Award class all had the challenge to accomplish these projects with safety in mind and presenting their final projects all virtually. No matter the challenges that these people have faced, they have completed their project, and these Eagle recipients truly developed the characters that embody the Eagle Scout and Summit Award rank. With me on stage is the National Eagle Scout Award recipient, Christopher Edgar, the president-elect of President Ford Division Executive Board. Chris, could you please come up? Could you please share with us tonight the great news that you have?
Thank you, Armand. It is an honor to be joining you all this evening and to recognize such an amazing group of young people, as well as my fellow colleagues who continue to live the spirit of the Eagle Scout. Back when this event was being planned, we expected to be inside at the DeVos Hall or someplace warm. And we had a little problem called COVID. And our leaders, John Fox and John Schering, made an adjustment, and they brought this group out here. And thank you all for coming. And to make sure that the event was properly communicated, several of us volunteered to make phone calls to scouts and to personally invite them to the event. And I was given a list, and I made a number of calls, and it was fascinating because every scout with whom, and I call the scouts, not the moms and dads. Sorry, moms, but I call the scouts, and that's what everybody did. But every scout with whom I spoke was courteous, articulate, confident. And I thought after I made those calls, I said, what a great group. And I emailed John Fox and told him that these kids are worthy of the effort that we're making on their behalf. So I'd like us to have all Eagle Scouts who are here, not the old guys, but the young guys and women, to stand up, and we'd like to give you a round of applause. Thank you. Scouts become leaders, and their leadership continues into adulthood. And that's why every year we honor a few Eagle Scouts who have performed exceptional service to their communities. The President Ford Division of the Michigan Crossroads Council has elected to recognize 2 men this year to receive the prestigious award of the National Outstanding Eagle Scout Association. The two men I'm about to introduce are a true embodiment of what Scouting instills: strong moral character, leadership in their careers and in their communities, and duty to God and country. Let's start with a short video from a faithful friend who is our first recipient, David Ellis. And while the video is playing, I wonder if Dave would come to the podium.
We are honored and excited to recognize Dave Ellis as one of our National Outstanding Eagle Scouts. It's no secret that when you become an Eagle Scout, there is no such thing as former Eagle. With the recognition, much is expected, and Dave continues to live up to those Eagle Scout values each and every day. I've had the privilege of knowing Dave for over 25 years, going back to when we worked together when he was an intern at Prince Corporation in Holland in 1986. Even as an intern, his talent for leadership came through as he was leading teams and facilitating discussions of professionals much, much older than he was as a college junior. Over the course of time, Dave has worked to make a positive impact wherever he has gone, whether it's professional or through service to Scouts and other nonprofits. In addition to being part of the group that envisioned this repurposed Adventure Point Leadership Campus, Dave has served as the President Ford Division President and several other key leadership roles here within the largest Boy Scout Council of America, the Michigan Crossroads Council. Outside of Scouting, he has also served as President of the Holland Rotary, demonstrating his never-ending commitment to being a good servant leader and putting others before self. With that in mind, Karen and I extend our heartfelt congratulations for your enduring spirit and accomplishments. Well done, Eagle Scout Dave Ellis.
Congratulations, National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award recipient, Dave Ellis. We are all honored to call you our friend and our division president. And on behalf of the thousands and thousands of young people in the scouting program here in Michigan that your leadership has impacted, thank you. You know, those who know Dave Ellis know that when you look at the Scout Oath and the Scout Law, that is what Dave Ellis is all about. But if you really get to know Dave Ellis, you're going to find such a caring and passionate person about bettering his community and bettering his world. Dave has done that in numerous ways through community organizations and initiatives that he has been a part of and given leadership to. What really strikes me about Dave Ellis as an Eagle Scout is the word leadership. He does so much good in our community through that leadership capability that he has learned and honed through the scouting program, all with service to other people in mind. Every single time he demonstrates his leadership, it's all about others first. So Dave, on behalf of everyone you impact, who probably some don't even know your name, we owe you a huge debt of gratitude. And we're honored to call you friend and Eagle Scout.
David, thank you for your exceptional service in the West Michigan area and for your unparalleled commitment to the President Ford Division of the Michigan Crossroads Council. I've had the opportunity to work with you for maybe 10 to 15 years, and I have been amazed by your dedication, your energy, your creativity, and the grace with which you perform your duties. So on behalf of the Boy Scouts of America and the Michigan Crossroads Council, we are pleased to recognize you with the National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award. You're a little taller than I, so thank you. You got that. I'm going to send this home with you. There you go. Thanks, Chris. You bet.
Well, that's a lot to take in. So I'd like to meet that guy. He sounds really cool. Could I get this year's class of Eagles just to stand up just for a second? I only get a little time, so I get to use it the way I want, right? So could we just all give this group another round of applause? Thanks. You guys don't have to keep standing. That's okay. Thanks. What I want to share with you and with all of you is, you guys are all sitting here thinking, wow, I made it. I finally got to the end of some journey. I'm here to tell you that you're just at the start, because you're going to meet a Mike Malin somewhere along the way, who, when you think you're done in this scouting thing, he's going to call you and say, hey, Dave, I need you to call back Matt Hogue. He's trying to reach you, and you're going to find yourself an adult volunteer, hopefully, and learn that you can have way more fun staying involved than what you thought you did. And it's fun when you're a scout. You look at those pictures, that was like yesterday to me. But it's fun doing this, and it's important. So I would just encourage you to stay involved, find a way to get plugged in. I am so blessed. I brought my whole patrol, my whole family showed up tonight, dropped what they were doing and said, oh, we'd come to that, Dad. And sit outside and eat a box lunch. I even did some research, and I found my original den mother. It wasn't hard. It's Mom. And, and here she is. And she was my very first Cub Scout den mother way back in the day. So thank you very much for this recognition. It means the world to me.
Our next recipient of the National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award goes to a phenomenal individual who has played a large part in the lives of many in the West Michigan community as they look to him daily to predict our ever so unpredictable Michigan weather. Leading the way in West Michigan meteorology, thank you, for over 45 years. Please join me in congratulating our friend and fellow Eagle Scout, Bill Steffen. Now we're gonna play a tape, and as soon as that runs, Bill, come up and we'll present the award.
Bill Steffen was born to be a meteorologist.
My first weathercast I did in my Boy Scout uniform in April of 1967.
And a Boy Scout. According to the Scouts law, a Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind. Bill is all of these, but when it comes to predicting and tracking the weather in West Michigan,
trustworthy and Bill go hand in hand. He is the most reliable person. He does a job right from start to finish, no excuses, and everything that he does is completely just solid.
Loyal to West Michigan, Bill spent nearly half a century helping keep us safe when seconds count. And friendly? Have you ever seen Bill in a parade?
I love that no matter who you are, you can walk in and have a conversation with Bill Steffen, and he is happy to talk to you. And he's always pleasant. He has so many fun stories. And the thing is, he loves kids, he loves adults, he loves everyone.
And about those kids, how many people can say Bill Steffen came to their school and spoke to their class? The answer is thousands. Over the years, Bill has taught generations of school children the science behind weather.
It's just Bill's forecast, Bill said, and usually what Bill said really does happen.
Obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Bill wouldn't be the West Michigan weather icon he is today without his background in Boy Scouts.
I think the West Michigan forecast is one and the same with what Bill Steffen said, because he's so trustworthy and because he's so good at his job.
Good at his job, and a person West Michigan is very proud of.
Well, I watched Bill last night, and he missed it. He said that this rain would blow out at about 4 o'clock, and it really was 4:30. All right. So, anyway, Bill, you've been helpful to the Scouts. You're a great representative of our movement, and I know that because I've seen you at a lot of our events, and thank you. So on behalf of the Boy Scouts of America and the Michigan Crossroads Council, I'm going to present you with the National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award. Thank you so much. Thank you. And you get a chance to say something.
You know, as soon as they mentioned Bill Steffen, the sun came out. How do I do that? Isn't that amazing? I tell people I'm just in retail. I don't manufacture. I don't take the blame and I don't get the credit. You know what? When I was 10 years old, our church did not have Cub Scouts, but it had Boy Scouts. And when I was 10 years old, my father came into my room one day and said, "You know, Billy, you like the outdoors so much, you ought to go be a Boy Scout." And I went, "Oh, what's that?" And he said, "Well, I'll get you the manual. You can look through it and decide for yourself." So he brings me back a Boy Scout manual, which I still have in the car. I brought it along. I should have brought it up here. I still have my Boy Scout manual from, boy, what would that have been? It was interesting. I was Troop 6 in Wilmette, Illinois. And an interesting little fact is another member of that Boy Scout troop was Bill Murray, the actor. You know, and you know what? I've probably been on TV more hours than he has, tell you the truth. Wow. It's like Groundhog Day. Every day I get up and I do the same thing over and over again. But I joined Boy Scouts on my 11th birthday. And when I walked into that first meeting, I was ready to pass tenderfoot, second class, first class, and star all that first night. I was ready to go. And about 2 weeks later, I went to Boy Scout camp, Camp McCodgewan in northern Wisconsin. And McCodgewan is an awesome place. Anybody ever heard of Camp McCodgewan? Somebody over there. They have as much land there as 10 golf courses put together. They own about 3/4 of a lake. It was owned by the Boy Scouts. And I was at this amazing place. We go up on this rickety old school bus. It's got no air conditioning and no bathroom or anything like that. We had all the windows open and you get the air coming through and everything else like that. And you went for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or 8 weeks. So I went just for 2 weeks the first year, but I went up there. I'd only been a Boy Scout for about 3 weeks. Didn't know anybody, but it was so much fun. And I tell you what, if you have had half as much fun in Scouts as I've had, this will be a lifetime of thrilling memories for you. And I encourage all of you Scouts to stay with Scouting. I have been a registered member of Scouts, I think since, it would be 59 years. So that's a long time. When I came to Grand Rapids, I actually stopped at the old Boy Scout office, which was over on Monroe, and I walked in and I said, "Hey, I just moved here. I'm an Eagle Scout. Anything I can do to help you?" And of course, they looked at me like I was from Mars or something like that. I mean, who are you? You know. But I got affiliated with the troop. I went camping. We went on bike rides 50 miles out and back. We just did all kinds of fun stuff here. And like I said, I have never left Scouting. I think the values that you have learned in Scouting, the skills that you have learned in Scouting will stay with you forever. Thank you so much. Very much appreciate this award.
and thank you, Chris, and congratulations to both Outstanding Eagle Scout Award recipients. Before we introduce our next keynote speaker for the evening, I would like to thank our event sponsors. These sponsors not only have made this event possible, but their contributions played a part in the success of the 2020 Eagle Scout class and will continue to impact future Eagle Scouts to come. We thank you, the Meyer Foundation, the Janner Noah Foundation, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, Peter C. and Emma Jean Cook Foundation, Dickinson Wright, AutoCam Medical, Quality Aluminum Products, and John Fox for your amazing support as we navigated through this unprecedented time to make this evening possible. Our keynote speaker this evening is a frontline worker who has been working to keep the state of Michigan safe in these trying times and is a champion for the great work of our Eagle Scouts who have worked in the communities. Representative Peter Meyer was elected as congressman for the 3rd Congressional District in January of this year. Peter's journey to achieving this honor has been an incredible journey, displaying his heart for service and heart to create positive change in the West Michigan community and the world. Peter landed in this path as our congressman with a decorated path, starting with a year at the United States Military Academy at West Point, followed by multiple tours in the Middle East and joining Team Rubicon, which is a veterans-based disaster relief organization. Through his time with Team Rubicon, he led humanitarianism efforts in southern Sudan dealing with the refugee crisis. He also led operations in New York after Superstorm Sandy, Oklahoma after a series of devastating tornadoes, and in the Philippines after Super Typhoon Yolanda. After his last tour in Afghanistan, Peter pursued his MBA at New York University, then returned to Michigan to work in urban redevelopment and real estate. A passion for service and for West Michigan compelled Peter to continue his service in the community by running for Congress. Please welcome to the stage Representative Peter Meyer.
Thank you, Carolyn, and thank you to our sponsors tonight, our hosts, our staff members, everybody who made it possible. And if we can get one more round of applause to Dave Ellis and Bill Steffen. Congratulations, gentlemen. I want to pick up where Dave started in terms of telling the Eagle Scout recipients tonight that what you've accomplished is just the beginning. It's a foundation. And when I look at the Eagle Scout promise, make my training an example, make my rank and influence count, do it for the betterment of my troop, my community, other people, I think the word rise to the occasion. It's a phrase, I guess, but rise to the occasion. Being in the military, spending time in disaster response, humanitarian aid, you get a lot of chance to see people at their worst, but you also see the best come out in those moments of chaos, in that strife. When I think of rise to the occasion, I can't help but pair it with beware of temptation. And I'm going to link the two of those together in a minute. But the rise to the occasion that comes to mind is in New York when Hurricane Sandy made landfall. Power was out throughout lower Manhattan. Nobody was really prepared. We were in the Office of Emergency Management, and there was a chart on the wall that had anticipated levels of flooding, record levels of flooding, worst case levels of flooding. And as it ticked off to record, anticipated, worst case, there was chaos. Our team was sent down to an evacuation shelter in Chinatown, an old school where all of the residents of the nearby apartment towers that were without electricity, where the elevators had been shut out, many of whom were senior citizens, had been congregating. Those same individuals were in rooms with folks who were just out of rehab or otherwise, going through very hard moments. When our team got there, all that we knew was that the Office of Emergency Management, the mayor's office said, go, assess the situation. When we pulled up, the NYPD outside went to my partner, who was leading our effort, and said, thank goodness you guys are here. We have never been in this situation before. We don't know what to do. What's the plan? We had never been there before. We didn't know what to do, but we did know that if we didn't have a plan, that if we didn't do something to instill and inspire confidence, we were not going to make that situation better. We were going to add to the chaos. We were going to add to the uncertainty. We were going to add to the feeling of helplessness and hopelessness in that moment. So my partner, without skipping a beat, said, "Sir, if you can gather all of your men together, if you can meet us in the conference room, we will brief our plan in 15 minutes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We look forward, we can't wait." They went off, the NYPD started to brief their men, and my partner turned to the rest of our group and said, "Okay, we have 10 minutes to figure out a plan and figure out if there's a conference room here because that's where we're all meeting." When I say beware of temptation, in this moment, the temptation would have been to overextend beyond our competency, beyond our experience, to slip from confidence to arrogance, to lose sense of humility and a grounding. Now, the group we were with, it was all former military veterans. We had a variety of experiences. My partner and I were in intelligence. Several others were in infantry. We had folks who were Marines, Special Forces. So we brought a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge to bear. We had a strong foundation, a foundation like many of the Eagle Scouts who are being awarded tonight, that we could build upon, that we could use that as something that would stabilize us, that we could reach beyond our experience, not so far that we tipped, but just far enough that we could move and pull that group forward. But the key there is knowing how far you can extend. It's not losing sense and losing sight of that inner, both realistic confidence in terms of what have I done? How can I take that and build upon it? But also, what am I capable of and what does the situation need from me today? How can I rise to the occasion? How can I make my training an example? How can I make my rank and influence count strongly for the better of the troop, of the community, and of all other people? Because if you don't account for that foundation, it's very easy to give into the temptation of leadership to slip into arrogance, to slip beyond a sense of humility and beyond a sense of grounding. I'm in politics right now. There's a reason why I'm making that pivot, talking about how you can get in trouble when you start to believe that the ends justify the means. That as long as you win, it's right. That life is zero sum. If one person gains, then another inherently must lose. I talked about seeing how rising to the occasion can benefit when I was in New York after that hurricane hit. My experiences in Afghanistan and Iraq proved to me what happens when the temptation of zero sum, the temptation of ends justifying the means, the temptation of losing any centering, any grounding, any adherence or dedication to values, community, principle. What happens when that is lost? Because that's when neighbor turns against neighbor. That's when a community falls in against itself. And that's when we're not together like we are here. When you're not out serving your community, when you're not out focusing on that betterment, when you're not taking what you have, taking the foundation that you've created, that you've earned, that you developed, and using that for good. So I want to leave you with this thought. And if you remember one thing from tonight, remember this. Cultivate that sense of kindness, that sense of goodness, that sense of community and fidelity to your brother, to your sister, to the community around you. Keep listening to that. Use that as your sounding board. Use it as a North Star so that if you ever begin to stray, it will pull you back. So that you have people in your life who can bring you back onto that path so you can continue to always be focusing on rising to that occasion. Because our community needs you, Your family needs you. Your neighbors need you. And our country needs you. Thank you.
All right. That was a beautiful speech by Representative Meyer. Before you go, we would like to give you this certificate. This is a certificate, so you may send a scout to camp in your name. So you may do that in your will.
Thank you very much.
So things are going pretty great so far. We got a president-elect, a weatherman, and I just shook hands with a congressman. And I'm on film. Only goes to show what Boy Scouts can do for you and open so many different doors. Now, it's great to see the impact of scouting that has lives on these Eagle Scouts and how they plan to take things that they have learned with them in the years to come. With me, I not only have Chris Egger, our president-elect, but David Ellis, who is our current board president. Gentlemen, if you don't mind coming up one more time, could you please share a little bit why scouting is important to you?
I thought there was another 30 minutes to the program. Scouting has been an important part of my life all the way back to about 1954. And it's important, but it's also kind of chilly out here. And maybe it's time to move on, and I'll skip my 20-minute speech and you can hear it at another time, because I'm sure I'll have another chance. But I do want to take some time to thank all the people who made this evening possible. Thank you to the Scoutmasters, the Assistant Scoutmasters, members of your troop committees, and charter members, who are the people who sponsor your troop. These people have supported these young men and women on their trail to the Eagle or to the Summit Award. And we all owe them a debt of gratitude. Where the rubber meets the road is where the troop leadership is. And that's where it is. Those of us who are kind of in the administration or in the periphery, our job is to help those people deliver programming to our scouts. And we also wouldn't be here tonight but for our Eagle Scouts. That's why we're here. And so thank you to all of you, the Eagles, the people who helped you along the way. And I hope that at some point, now that you're Eagles, and I'm sure somebody said this to you before, but if they haven't, I'm saying it to you now, make sure that you thank all of those people for all the help that they have given to you. Thank you to the co-chairs of this event. That's Dr. John Fox and John Shearing. This was a challenge to put this together in a difficult time, and it has turned out well. And so I think John Fox and John Shearing should stand up, and we'll give you a little recognition here. Thank you. And thank you to our sponsors and community supporters. They include, once again, the Meyer Foundation, the Jane Ranella Foundation, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, AutoCam Medical, Bill and Lori Bohr, Peter C. and Emma Jean Cook, Williams Distributing, Dickinson Wright, Quality Aluminum Products, and Dr. John Fox. Yeah. Your support makes it possible for our council to provide the scouting program to young men and women across Michigan. David.
Well, somebody told me once you should never go against the advice of your attorney, and although I'm not paying Chris tonight, he's wise to say we shouldn't spend a lot of time in the cold. I do want to tie back to one of the things Representative Meyer said, though, that anchor, right? We all have that in the 12 points of the Scout Law. It exists, right? Are you being trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent? Those are great rocks. My dad was my first scout leader. I learned those before I knew what they were. He would drill those in our head sitting at the kitchen table. It was a code before I knew what it was. It works. I think about what would the world be like if everyone just did that on a regular basis. And you all are part of an organization that teaches it. So again, I'll push on you, stay involved. It changes lives. It changed mine. So I think what we'd like to do now is kind of do the roll call of Eagle Scouts. So let's start with tonight's class of 2020 and stand up one more time and be recognized. All right. Outstanding. Could I have any other Eagles, stay standing, everybody, any other Eagle Scouts in the room stand up and be recognized? So everyone else in the room that's an Eagle. All right. This year's class, you can sit down. And if I could have anyone who earned their rank, let's see, how are we doing this backwards, right? So if you earned your rank after 2020, please be seated. Okay, if you've earned your rank between 2020 and 2010, please sit down. Okay, between 2000 and 2010, sit down. Okay. Between 1990 and 2000, sit down. Okay, the 80s, 1980 to 1990, sit down. The 70s, it's getting thinner. The 60s. Okay, how about the 50s? Sit down if it's the 50s. Still got some hangers on. In the 40s? Oh, now we gotta parse that a little bit. We had two left, right? Stand up, both of you here. Bill, you're out, right? Okay. All right. What year? 44. And 1944. How about it? All right. I think I'd like to ask Aaron Gatch. I think you're next on the list to join us up here.
All right.
Thanks, boss.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. All right. The president says wrap it up. So I've only got 35 or 40 minutes worth of comments here prepared. I'm just kidding. 60 minutes. Okay. All right. Well, I'm getting my list out here. So I'm not texting or tweeting, I promise. But I am getting a list out because I want to make sure I don't miss anything that I prepared to say. And I'm going to start and I'm going to finish at the same place. So again, Eagle Scouts, if you earned your Eagle Scout in the year 2020, please stand up. All right, don't give a round of applause. Don't give a round of applause because I've heard all of your rounds of applause tonight so far. Not cutting it for me. I want applause that is going to shake this tent and possibly damage the structural integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the 2020 class of Eagle Scouts. All right. You may be seated, but we will get back to you. I promise. I promise. I want to extend a couple additional thanks. Again, thank you to our sponsors who made tonight possible. Thank you to our entire Building Character Celebration Committee who has continued year after year to make sure that this tradition continues so that every Eagle Scout class year can get the fitting recognition they deserve for the unbelievable accomplishment that they have finished. Thank you to our chairs, John and John. It should be no surprise to you that with two Eagle Scouts at the helm of the committee, when they found out they couldn't have the dinner indoor, they said, forget about it, we'll figure it out. And they did. So congratulations. Carolyn and Armand, would you come up here, please? Our illustrious MCs. Weren't they great, folks? Well, some of you know I have a daughter who's 9 years old, and she's a Cub Scout right now. And it gives me unbelievable feeling to know that one day she'll be standing right here where Carolyn is. But Carolyn and all the female Eagle Scouts in the inaugural class this year, would you stand up and join Carolyn by standing? It warms my heart to know that these women have blazed the trail as the first Eagle Scouts, but there will be more right behind them. And I wanted to say thank you to Carolyn for her role as emceeing tonight with this official Eagle Scout knife. Carolyn, thank you so much.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Armand, let's see that Eagle badge on the shirt there. Let's see your Eagle badge. Uh-oh, it's a life badge.
Yep, I just finished my Eagle Scout project.
Just finished his Eagle Scout project. Well, I have an Eagle Scout knife, and now I don't know what to do. Oh, wait a second. I do know what to do. I'm going to give you this Eagle Scout knife, but I'm going to make sure that you hand it to your dad, Lee, right there. And as soon as he gets that Eagle medal pinned on him at his board review, your dad's going to hand you that knife. Is it a deal?
Yes, it is.
It's a deal. Thanks, Armand. Well, Chris said it perfectly. I couldn't really say it much better. Eagle Scouts, you have to remember, there's a lot of people that wanted to make sure you could stand here tonight with an Eagle medal on your shirt. It started with all of your leaders at your troop. If you are a unit volunteer making unit scouting happen, you're an assistant scoutmaster, a committee chair, a committee member, stand up so we can see who you are, and let's recognize you for putting these Eagle Scout medals on these shirts. Behind those leaders, there are volunteers like Dave and Chris and many others who are here tonight with us. These folks are volunteers at the district or the council level. They're helping organize those Eagle Scout board reviews. They're merit badge counselors. They're serving on the board. They are doing anything and everything they can do to make sure those leaders in the unit you just saw have the resources and the tools they need to do the job they did with you, putting that Eagle medal on your shirt. Can we give all of our district and council volunteers a round of applause, please? And finally, the most important group, the group that if they did not exist, if they did not do something, there would be absolutely no Eagle Scouts here tonight. And of course, I'm talking about the person who was smart enough to sign their name on the bottom of a Boy Scouts of America application that authorized you Scouts to join. I'm, of course, talking about your parents. Parents, would you stand up and be recognized for your role in that Eagle Scout Award? All right, we're going to end right where we started, just like I promised. I'm going to talk about what is an Eagle Scout for just a really quick second here. You're probably wondering, some of you, why would we do these National Outstanding Eagle Scout Awards at the Building Character Celebration in which we're honoring the 2020 class? There is a very specific reason, and I'm sure some of our Eagle Scouts have already figured it out. You've heard it multiple times tonight. There is no end to the Eagle Scout Trail. There is no end. You are at the beginning of what your troop, your community, and your world expect of you now. You are marked. You probably heard that at your Eagle Scout Court of Honor. Something is expected of you now. You now are distinguished amongst your peers, someone who can be counted on as a leader, someone who can be counted on to make ethical decisions. You heard from Chris and Dave. Someone who is counted on to be trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly. Someone who is counted on to serve others before they serve themselves. We recognize Bill Steffen and Dave Ellis as National Outstanding Eagle Scout Award recipients in front of you all to demonstrate what continuing the Eagle Scout Trail looks like. Would you say congratulations to our friend Dave Ellis and Bill Steffen one more time? All right, I promise I'm wrapping it up. Here we go. Eagle Scout class of 2020, stand up. Last time. All right, now here's the twist I'm going to give you this time. Eagle Scouts, if you're watching at home, you stand up too, please. Stand up in your living room, in your kitchen, wherever you are. And parents, friends, neighbors, loved ones, everyone else, if you are not a member of the 2020 Eagle Scout class, I need you to close your eyes right now and just listen. Close your eyes and just listen. We're going to talk about what it being an Eagle Scout is really all about. Now, Eagle Scouts, if I say one thing that you don't think applies to you, I want you to sit down. If you don't think it applies to you, you don't agree with it, it's not been your experience, you can go ahead and sit down, that's okay. No one will see until the end, then perhaps they'll see you're sitting. And parents, loved ones, friends, guests, if you believe it is true when I say it, I want you to throw your hand up. And then I'll say another thing and you throw your hand up if you agree with that. And we're going to keep on going. So again, Eagle Scouts, if you don't agree, you can sit down. Friends, parents, loved ones, guests, if you agree, throw your hand up to show the Eagle Scouts that you agree. The scouting program has helped these Eagle Scouts be prepared to make ethical decisions for the rest of their lives. The scouting program has instilled the values of the Scout Oath and Law in these Eagle Scouts. The scouting program has built these Eagle Scouts to be leaders today and leaders for the rest of their lives in their community, nation, and world. The scouting program has developed character in these Eagle Scouts. The scouting program has developed fitness values in these young people. The scouting program has developed citizenship values in these young people. The scouting program has helped these Eagle Scouts explore different interests, whether they be hobbies, careers, new skills, ideas. The scouting program has equipped these Eagle Scouts with the ability to be independent, to interact with adults, to manage themselves. The scouting program has helped these Eagle Scouts learn to manage their time and the time of their team members. The scouting program has taught and reinforced social skills for these Eagle Scouts to lead weekly meetings and groups and teams and patrols, overnight camping trips. The scouting program has helped to improve these Eagle Scouts' verbal and written communication skills. The scouting program has helped these Eagle Scouts learn to be problem solvers. The scouting program has taught these Eagle Scouts to be a team member and to lead a team. The scouting program has helped to teach these Eagle Scouts cultural awareness. The scouting program has helped to teach these young people grit. And finally, the scouting program has helped to prepare these Eagle Scouts to be someone that we would all be proud to call friend, neighbor, parent, relative, church leader, business leader, community leader, nation leader, team leader. Well, parents, friends, loved ones, you can open your eyes and you can join me in not being astonished that none of our Eagle Scout class sat down, and we sure hope none of them sat down at home, because we know scouting has done all these things. And Eagle Scouts, you saw all the agreement with those hands going up from all around the room. If there was ever something in our community, in our nation to celebrate, it's all those things you just agreed are exemplified and are inside of each and every one of these Eagle Scouts here tonight and at home as part of our 2020 Eagle Scout class. So here's your last chance, folks. Let's hear it for our 2020 Eagle Scout class. Well, I have just two things to do before we are all dismissed to go on our way. The first thing is to introduce you to our Vice President of Adventure Point and the DeVos Family Center for Scouting, Mr. Paul Kelly. And Paul wanted me to let you know that since there is still some beautiful sun here, all due to Bill Steffen, if you would like to enjoy that sun and take a little walk around the trails out back and get to a quick tour and enjoy Adventure Point, Paul will be leading a small group tour leaving from the flagpole in a few minutes after we're all concluded. He would be happy to take you for a little hike, because what's a scouting celebration without a hike, right? So I congratulate everyone not only on their involvement in these Scouts' lives, but by being here tonight. Isn't it just kind of fun to be together with a big group of people again? Isn't this awesome? And we did it. We pulled it off. May not look like it's always looked, but we pulled it off. You guys did it. Well, I hope you'll please enjoy a quick closing video as we close, just a few seconds of video. And any Eagle Scouts in the class, if you would like to have a quick photo with Representative Meyer, he would be happy to do that. Over by the president's statue, which is right by the ramp over there. You can stand with President Ford, our nation's only Eagle Scout president, right behind you when you take that photo. So please go enjoy that if you'd like.
And again, congratulations to our class and thank you for being here tonight. Good night.
Anything's possible if you try and be patient. It pays off while you're waiting. The seeds you water will grow. The rest will follow. Cause this life's what you make it. And some rules are for breaking. Destiny will play its role, you know. What's meant to be will be, even when it's not easy. Live your life free, no boundaries, even when it's not easy. If you give love, you get love. If you give up, you get nothing. Can't you see? If you just believe anything is possible, don't rush too much. When it gets rough, get tough, sing with me. Through everything, anything is possible. Doesn't always make sense why some things gotta happen. Fight through the rain, cause you know the sun will follow. If you practice persistence, somebody's gonna witness. You're working hard and it shows, you know. What's meant to be will be, even when it's not easy. Live your life free, no boundaries, even when it's not easy. If you give love, you get love. If you give up, you get nothing. Can't you see? If you just believe anything's possible, don't rush too much. When it gets rough, get tough, sing with me. Through everything, anything is possible. Are you ready to go? I've waited for a long time. I must be out of my mind. Now I'm ready for this to start. When the lights go out, it's up.